This segment is brought to you by the Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Welcome back to Farm Factor and the Kansas Soybean Update.
This is the Kansas Soybean Update. It's brought to you by the Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers. Tracy Streeter, director of the Kansas Water Office, joins us. Tracy, a good portion of the state is experiencing severe or even worse drought conditions. So did the recent rains that fell in portions of the state help alleviate some of the drought stress that we've seen?
There are some areas in the state that did receive some very beneficial rains, but probably not enough to make a long-term difference if things don't turn around. I'm seeing some great precipitation amounts in south central Kansas, Wichita, Newton West, into perhaps Stafford County in that area, and then east central Kansas, southeast of I-35, looks like they got pretty decent rain. Statewide, everybody got something, but the most beneficial was in that central part of the state, and it was all in 2 inches or less type of precip, which from a wildfire standpoint would help in the short run, but quite frankly, I think the fire threat's still going to be there regardless.
What are the projections here further into spring for our moisture chances?
Looking out through the end of June, we see some slight improvement in the eastern third of the state. As far as looking out for our chances of precipitation, we've got equal chances looking into the early summer from the National Weather Service. So it looks like there might be some improvement, at least from the forecasters looking into the early summer.
Tracy, a drought declaration was given for all counties in the state. Is that just on the basis of the U.S. Drought Monitor maps?
They match up very well. We look at a lot of other factors, and so does the Drought Monitor, and so we kind of mirror that. When I look at the federal disaster declarations that came out of USDA, they follow the Drought Monitor pretty closely, as do we, and so, yeah, they match up pretty well. We've got a state of drought emergency in 28 counties in south central southwest, but the entire state's under some level of drought concern, ranging from watch to emergency.
So when a drought declaration occurs, are there other programs that are triggered when that happens?
There are, particularly when it comes to fighting fire. We make sure that we're well coordinated on making sure the federal reservoirs and the state fishing lakes are accessible for fire support and even emergency livestock water. We're starting to see ponds become drier, and there are opportunities for livestock producers to haul water if they need to and can access water in the state fishing lakes and the federal reservoirs. I'd encourage them, if they need to get in contact with our office and we can coordinate that. But that's a resource that becomes available. The federal disaster declarations is where agricultural producers really can get some support.
Tracy Streeter, director of the Kansas Water Office, joins us on the Kansas Soybean Update. It's brought to you by the Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers. Learn more at kansassoybeans.org. For Kansas Soybeans, I'm Greg Akagi.
Hope you enjoyed this week's Kansas Soybean Update. Stay with us after the break for more with Dwayne Taves and Lacey Fair as they discuss the Seed to Stem program.
What if U.S. soybean oil were an industry sensation? If end users started asking for it by name? That future is here. The time is now. To meet customer demands, the Soybean Checkoff is investing in varieties that produce oil with increased functionality. A message from the Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers.